Wealth is to be fully at home in the world. So lacking that, of course, people are seeking to control, to accumulate, to dominate, to make up for this cutoff from the source of real security, which is embeddedness, which is connection, by achieving more and more fake security, which is control. So this is the essence of civilization's addiction. It's the addiction to control. That's what technology is. Yeah, I could go on and on,
but it's interesting because it brings to mind a couple of things. First of all, we would say, if we were asked, the royal we, are you a scientific society, or are you a data-driven society, or are you a fact-driven society? We would say, of course we are. And so then you would say to that person, okay, well, let's use the United States as an example. For well over 100 years, the leader in GDP, the ultimate index, let's say, I would argue against that, but for this argument, we would say the ultimate metric of financial wealth. And the United States has led the world by an exponential rate for 100 years plus. So by far, the winners in this particular pursuit of financial wealth, yet also at the same time lead the world in rates of depression, alcoholism, drug addiction, incarceration. I could go on and on, murder, et cetera, et cetera. All by any objective standard considered the metrics of the unhealthiest of societies. And yet we're aware of that. That's not breaking news. We've known that for a while now. Yet it kind of reminds me of, those moving sidewalks at airports. It's like there's one that's moving towards a cliff. And even though we're having these discussions, we're like, yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy. I hear you. But nobody knows how to stop it. Nobody knows what the fundamental move is to shift away from it, because I think, to your point, and I think sadly, so many people feel how you feel, but they feel, ironically, alone, meaning, oh, it's just me and it's just a couple people. When I would imagine the data would tell us that well over the majority of the world feels that intuitively, what you feel, not at home in the world, that something's not right. This isn't it. But I don't know whether we don't know how to articulate it, or we get gaslit when we go back out into the world telling us it's just us, we're crazy. But it would seem to me we have all the ingredients for this revolution of whatever we want to call it, yet we kind of almost don't know where to start or how to start. Is that a fair way to characterize it?
Yeah, the system, as they call it, the machine has such inertia and is so vast and so powerful that there's no practical plan to stop the machine. There's no practical plan. In fact, I would say that there's no plan at all. Yet, something in us knows that it is possible. And that is a precious knowledge. Otherwise, if we didn't have something in us that knew that it was possible, why would we keep being hopeful? Anytime there's like a little break in the clouds, hope springs up. It was there all along. We know that it's possible, but we don't know how to get there. And I think that the path to get there has to start at a foundation of a different way of seeing the world, a different understanding of what the human being is, all of these questions I named as spiritual. Because when the new answers come in and the experiences come in that validate those answers, then you're not crazy. And it orients a person toward whatever action, large or small, is in service to that. I call it the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. Our minds might not know it's possible, but our hearts know it doesn't have to be this way. And you can make any argument why, human nature or the power elite, or patriarchy, capitalism, white supremacy, et cetera, like it's so powerful, we can't and I cannot refute your argument. All I can do is speak to the part of you that knows it doesn't have to be this way. And that urgently calls each one of us to act from that understanding.